Hello, my friends. Hello, and welcome to week 2 of the artist way. Do you like my nails? Hi, guys. It's your girl Iman Get Life. I'm back. And today I have a lot of very interesting stuff to talk about. So, as you guys know, I've been using this cute little notebook. I don't understand why my camera is like this. Okay, hang on. I need to wipe my camera. All right, is that better? Because, why are you being... Okay, thank you. Because, I swear I cleaned it, and then I clipped my light on top, and I guess I rubbed the camera again, so I made it dirty again. I'm feeling very fun today. Thank you to everyone who's joining or everyone who's going to watch later. I love you guys. I do have a couple more things to talk about on TikTok after this live. So it's not that I'm going to speed through it, but I know exactly what I want to talk about. So I'm going to talk about exactly what I want to talk about. Okay. So as you guys know, one of the things that is most emphasized in the artist way is to do the morning pages. You're not supposed to let anyone read your morning pages, and that's fine. I'm not going to read anything here for you guys today, okay? But it's already July. Can we believe that? Okay. So for the past 7 days, I've been journaling every single day. Every single morning, 3 pages. Just 3 pages, brain rot, out on paper, whatever happens, happens. But you're not supposed to read it after, and you're not supposed to show it to anyone after. Okay, and I haven't been doing that. I haven't been showing it to anyone, and I haven't been reading it after. Also, look at my makeup. Isn't it so slay today? I got my makeup done. Okay, this is what's crazy. So, Monday is my artist days, right? My artist dates. And you're supposed to take yourself out on a date in an attempt to bond with your artist self, which I think that's a great, fantastic idea, because otherwise I'm going to take myself out every single day and I'm not going to get shit else done. So the fact that this book recommends even treating yourself as something that you shouldn't always do, it's something that you should do once a week, has helped me really calm down in terms of spending and just wasting money, because that is something that I unfortunately struggle with. So last week, the week 1, I took myself out on a date to buy this dress. Week 2, which is literally, week 1, I bought the dress. Week 2, I cooked myself a nice healthy meal. And week 3, which is today, the beginning of week 3. So today's date was a photo shoot with this dress and these earrings and this hair and this makeup. Except you guys know what's crazy? I wasn't even, I didn't even have a photographer in mind. I don't know any photographers here. I know a photographer in Tulum, but I was like, I'm not going to Tulum. I don't know how I'm going to get there, whatever, all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, I want to do a photo shoot in this dress. And this is a couple days ago. So I'm planning ahead. I'm Monday on my artist day, I'm going to do a photo shoot. Someone messages me on Facebook. And listen, Facebook is a really underrated resource for getting in touch with local people when you live in a place where you don't have community. When I was in Canada, I wasn't using Facebook at all. As soon as I moved to New York, I joined a bunch of expat groups on Facebook, and I started talking to people there who had resources, things to offer me. And, let me turn off my fan, by the way, because it's hella loud. Can I pause this? I don't know how to pause this. Edit. No. Okay, be right back. Okay. Sorry, I know my fan's super loud. But yeah, so I'm I want to do a photo shoot, whatever, right? And this girl messages me out of nowhere on Facebook. Oh yeah, so I was talking about, sorry, my brain be going to 100 different places. So when I was in New York, I joined all these expat groups, helped myself find a place to live, a studio to work in, all this other stuff. Then I left, I moved to Mexico, and I joined a bunch of expat groups in Mexico. Same story. I started to find a place to live, started to talk to locals, best place to go, whatever. And this girl made a post on there. She goes, "Hey guys, I'm a makeup artist. I'm looking for a model to do a bridal photo shoot look, whatever. And they need to have a white dress. I have a white dress." So I message her. I'm like, "Hey, I want a model, do my makeup, whatever. But can I bring an extra dress, this dress, to like take pictures in later?" She's like, "Of course." So I went to her house. She slayed my makeup. We took a bunch of pictures. And then everything worked out perfectly. Now I'm here talking to you guys about it. But the thing that I actually want to talk about today is one of the most important lessons in week 2, which is on crazymakers. So the author, Julia, excuse me, she describes a crazymaker as someone who purposely wants to disturb the peace. And this person is like that because they have stifled their own creativity so much, but they still have all that creative energy. So the only thing that they know how to do with their creative energy is be crazy. So they'll literally like make random plans. They'll call you at random times of the day. They'll disturb your own peace. They'll put down like your work. They'll put down like other things that you're doing in your life. They want all your attention and they want all your energy. And the reason why is because they don't know how to express their own energy. So the only power that they feel is by disturbing other people's creative energy. And that made so much sense, because I used to have someone like that in my life. And it was so incredibly difficult for me because I was like, I like this person. Like, she's my friend. I want to be there for her. But she's insane. And I don't know how to tell her that she's insane. And I don't know how to tell her to chill either. Because when you tell these people to chill, they take it real personally, right? So I'm like, okay, well, this person's a crazy person. Like, what do I do? And I got checked real hard when I was reading chapter 2 of this book, because the author says, well, if you have a bunch of crazy people in your life, crazy makers, she calls them crazy makers. If you have a bunch of crazy makers in your life, it's because you low-key enjoy that energy. You low-key enjoy chaos. You low-key enjoy distracting yourself from your own creativity. And you like, this gives you something else to focus on rather than your art. And I was like, oh, so it was my fault. I should have just distanced myself from those crazy people when I first realized that they were crazy. But of course, when you're a stifled artist, you don't have good boundaries. So even when someone tells you like, maybe that person's not the best person to be friends with, your people-pleasing tendencies overtake you. Your people-pleasing tendencies make you think like, no, I'm a bad person if I don't offer this friend my help. I'm a bad person if this. I'm a bad person if that. Like, you internalize everything. You make everything your fault. And I was doing that. So I was like, this is pathetic. I need to cut this person off. And I eventually did cut them off because they wasted a bunch of my money, trashed my house, and then just left and didn't apologize for any of it. So I was like, on a person, like on a friendship level, that's grounds for a friendship breakup. But I also was looking for a reason to get rid of that friend without it like blowing up in my face. So that was a pretty good reason to get rid of that person, but it did blow up in my face. Okay, so week 2 was all about reflecting on my habits. Okay, because this book is about building habits, good habits. So during my morning pages, I know I'm not supposed to tell you guys my morning pages, but I started to just write a bunch of words that rhyme. Like, I would pick a word. Sometimes I would like hear it in a song because I play music when I'm listening to my morning pages. And then I hear a word, I'm like, oh, let me write down as many words as I can that rhyme with this word. So I would sit there for like 30 minutes doing my morning pages, and it's just words that rhyme with other words. And that was really good for my brain because I realized like words don't have to be spelled the same in order for them to rhyme. And you can actually get really creative without using the internet or anything when you sit there and focus on words that rhyme. So that was a fun little exercise for my brain. And then she said that we should check and see how much time a day we spend doing our top 5 activities. So I'm going to tell you my top 5 activities, and then I'm going to tell you how much time a day I spend doing those top 5 activities. So task number 1 is being at work. Task number 2 is creating content. Task number 3 is doom scrolling. Task number 4 is cooking, cleaning, doing chores. And task number 5 is making music. And making music was the task I spent the least amount of time on every single week, which is like, hello, Iman, get a life. Why are you not spending time making music? Isn't that what you want to be doing? But I really had to write this down to realize, oh, I could be spending way more time making music rather than doom scrolling if I just focus. So anyways, being at work is 30 hours a week. Creating content is 14 to 15 hours a week because I post pretty frequently on TikTok, and it takes me on average 30 minutes to make like a 6-minute video. Because I'll make the video, I'll cut out the parts that I don't want, I'll add the captions, I'll pick the cover page, I'll add a title, I'll write the caption, I'll upload it, and then I'll spend like 15 minutes reading the comments and whatnot. Doom scrolling, guilty, is 6 to 8 hours a week. Literally just scrolling and consuming content. Like, ew, why? Ew, get a life, ew. So I really had to write that down to check myself and be like, girl, these are not healthy habits. If you want to be an artist, you cannot be a consumer. You got to create more than you consume. I'm talking to myself right now. Like, there's literally 0 people here. So this is fun because when I see comments, I sometimes get distracted from what I'm talking about. So this is fun because I can literally just talk about what I want to talk about. So yeah, then I have cooking, cleaning, doing chores is about 8 to 14 hours per week. Depends on how much cooking I do that day or how much cleaning there is to do. I just moved, so I still have to organize a whole bunch of stuff and sweep and mop and clean my shower, my sink, and blah, 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 blah. Cleaning is just sometimes so annoying. It's like, who wants to sit there and clean? Especially when you're an artist, because it's like, when you're cleaning, when you're doing those mundane tasks is when the best melodies come to your head. And other artists can attest to this because it's like, yo, how come when you're bored and you're doing something that you don't want to be doing, that's when you're the most creative? But when you actually put on your headphones and listen to a beat and try to freestyle, you sound like Dr. Seuss. Anyways, right? And then my last activity of the week is making music, which is about 5 to 10 hours per week, depending on how much time I have. And that's another thing I learned in week 2 is it's not about setting a chunk of time aside. This is something I have a huge problem with. Setting a chunk of time aside in order to sit there and do music, you know? Like if I don't have 6 hours, I'm like, I don't have time to make music. But I don't need 6 hours. I need 30 minutes to an hour and a half. And if I don't record the entire song in 30 minutes or an hour and a half, it doesn't matter because that amount of time is the amount of time it takes for my voice to change and for me to get so incredibly hot that I'm like, okay, I need to take a break and put the fan on because I'm sweating to death right now. So I had to learn like, okay, when I have those little bits of time, it's actually better for me to utilize them making music than doing any of these other tasks because it's not about having half a day or a full day to make music. It's about having little pieces of time in between everything else that I'm doing to do the thing that I actually want to do that's going to get me to where I want to go. So, in conclusion, making content takes up a lot of my time, which is good for the people who need it, but it's a little mentally and emotionally draining for me. I should have focused more on going live to make music rather than on making content, although it's good because I'm building my fan base. So basically what I say when I'm making content, I'm talking about on TikTok. And if you follow me on TikTok, you know I be talking a lot on TikTok. So that does take up a big part of my day, but I really like it. I enjoy making content, especially like getting the response from people that are like, hey, your content's actually helping me. Like, please don't stop talking about this. We need it, whatever. Like, that makes me feel really good. Also, just a little FYI, when you have curly hair like this, if you dry your hair like 40% and then let it air dry, it will not get big. See how my hair is like holding its shape? It's because I ran out of time to like fully dry it when I styled it 2 days ago, and it's been holding this shape. But usually I dry it like 90% of the way, and I leave just like the top pieces that are a little wet there, and it gets like this big. So yeah, because when the product's not fully dry, it weighs your hair down, you know? Okay. So the next thing that was a task for this week was to draw a circle and put topics to protect in this circle. So I did that. My topics to protect are authenticity, a clear mind, freedom of thoughts and beliefs, soulful music, artistic expression, manifestations, God, and I'm not going to expand on that just yet because it's not time for me to talk about that yet. Self, faith, reliance, self assurance, and love. Love for others, devotion, abundance and wealth mindset, no drama, no fears, peace, and security. So I actually have to rip this page out and tape it to my desk so that I can see it every day, so that I don't forget that these are topics to protect. Then I had to list 20 things that I enjoy doing and ask myself if I actually do any of them. And it's funny because when you're a kid, you have so much free time that you actually like do the things that you want to do if you're unemployed, which most kids are unemployed. But I remember like being a kid and having so many hobbies and patience to do those hobbies. And now it's like I still have interest to do those hobbies, but I don't have enough patience to do them. So I'm going to try to get back into them during my artist dates, which is what the author recommends, because she says like, oh, if you don't know what to do to take yourself out on a date, then pick from this list of 20 things, and that can be your dates for the next 12 weeks. So number 1 is painting. Number 2 is sketching. Number 3 is writing music. Number 4 is dancing. Number 5 is swimming in the ocean. Number 6 is walking. Number 7 is getting iced coffee. I don't care. I love getting iced coffee, okay? Number 8 is shopping. Number 9 is wearing cute outfits. Number 10 is taking pictures. Number 11 is being hot. Number 12 is working out. Number 13 is eating good food. And yes, I love being hot and I love working out and I love eating good food. Number 14 is seeing my friends. Number 15 is making content. Number 16 is talking to my mom. Number 17 is doing my makeup. Number 18 is listening to music. Number 19 is meditating. Number 20 is reading new books. Reading is something I really got to get back into, and I'm lucky to have a job right now where I actually do have time to sit there and read. So I do that. And sometimes when I sit there and read, I'm like, this is going to make a perfect TikTok video. And then I'm like, Iman, the whole point of you reading a book is for you to have the information. You don't have to make a TikTok about every piece of information that you know. How many TikToks are you going to freaking make, Iman? Get a life, Iman. I really talk to myself like that because it's sometimes so a little egotistical to acquire knowledge just to post it, Like sometimes you have to sit on the knowledge that you acquire and implement it and actually understand it before you go out there and you post it. So when I read now, I read from a perspective of, okay, this information is for me because I'm the one whose eyes are on this page, taking this information in and consuming it. And later on, when I've implemented it, when I finished the book, when I've implemented it, then I can make a video about it. So I've been having to learn patience with that. Yeah, and then I've been focusing a lot on calling every day a payday. I wake up every day and I'm like, Iman, it's payday. And you know what's crazy? Every day this week has been a payday. Every day this week except for Wednesday of actually every day last week, not this week because it's only Monday. Every day of last week was a payday except for Wednesday. Don't ask me how. Just wake up and tell yourself that it's payday and see what happens. Don't ask me how. Things just happen. So yeah, that's week 2. There were a couple of extra tasks for week 2 that I didn't do yet. So I'm going to do them. And then I shall report back next Monday. What day is next Monday? July 14th? Oh my God, the year's almost over. I have a lot of new music in the vault. I know people are like, Iman, when are you going to drop a new song? When are you going to drop a new song? I have a lot of new songs to drop, you guys. I'm very excited to drop new songs, okay? I like this angle. Just a cute angle. Is this a good angle or is this a good angle? Wait, I always get so confused with this camera. Why is it backwards? It's not given. Anyways, that's it, you guys. It's been 20 minutes. That's the only amount of time I need to go live for to talk about this, because truly it's not about moving my lips, it's about doing. But because YouTube is where my music content is going to be, I have to dedicate at least 20 minutes a week to going live on YouTube so that the documentation could be there. This is what Doechii did. And when she blew up, there was evidence that backed that she put in the work. And it's not that I'm doing this so that there's evidence that I put in the work, but why reinvent the wheel? If it worked, then do it. And I'm having fun. I'm actually having a lot of fun realizing that being creative is easy, and that the only reason why I ever thought it was hard was because I didn't know how to get rid of all the extra stuff going on in my brain and the people who were distracting me from being creative, and actually sit there and do the art that I want to do. So that is my dedication to myself now for the next 10 weeks. Yeah, week 2 down, week 3 on the way, and see you guys next Monday, and love you, and stream Iman, get a life, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Mwah.